Okay, so thank you. We're going to start today's practicals related to our hardening, annealing, normalizing, and tempering. This part we're going to cover in this practicals. So, annealing and normalizing, both things it has been used for making the soft material in industry. A little bit difference in their annealing and normalizing related to temperatures of heating the jobs and cooling media and hardening. By hardenings we will get the hardness of the material, and after hardening we will go for tempering. Okay, so just I am in front of this is the one machine, Rockwell's hardness testing, Rockwell HR, Rockwell hardness testing machines in front of you. So you can see this machine. So here is the rotating table is there. Just by rotating this, we can move this up and down. And here, so you can see the indenter part is there. So already I have inserted this diamond indenter. So you can replace this by using this Allen key here. This side Allen key insert is there. By losing this, we can replace this also. Instead of diamond, we can also make a steel ball also here. Okay, so presently this is the diamond indenters, and you can see here one chart. It is on the machines. So this is the Rockwell hardness tester machine. Here name is given hardness tester. It is called Rockwell hardness. Rockwell, it is the one of the scientists. He developed the measurements of this hardness. Now you can see this chart is here. So here scales are there: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Like the scales are there. Here indenter which we can use the diamond indenter for A scale. Then for B scale 116 ball steel ball indenters we can use. Then for C we can use the diamond and load is 150. For D diamond load is 100. Now these loads we can adjust these sides. Now I will show to you how to adjust the loads here. Here this is the button. So for C scale we required this 150. Is it correct? So already I adjusted this 150 loads on this machine. If you want to change this load as per these charts, you can change these indenters, change these loads, and then we can test this machine is okay or not. Now already I have adjusted 150 this load. Diamond indenter is there. Now how I will check this machine is ready for hardness. Now in my hand, this is the hardness tester. So this is the standard harden workpiece. This is the standard harden workpiece, harden and temper. Okay. So initially you can put this testers on these machines. Now you can see how I will going to check the hardness of this machine just by rotating this table. Now, while rotating, you can also keep attention on these handles. Okay, so here we can apply the loads by moving this way, and then if you take this back, it will get released. Now, just I will touch this indenter in such way that in this dial indicators, two scales are there, red colors and black colors. So these black colors, it indicate Rockwell C scale, and red colors, it will indicate Rockwell B scale. So when we can use the C scale, whenever harden or temper part is there, always you have to select the C scale. And other than hardens, you can select B scale, that is a red color. Apart from this, you can also this red chart, black color chart, which is provided on this machine. Specific indenters, you can use specific load, you can adjust and after this you can check the hardness. Now here's I'm going to check the HRC. HRC means Rockwell's hardness C scale. HRB means Rockwell's hardness B scale. So here the scale is there, A, B, C, D, like these scales are there. So as per your requirement, you can select the scale, but particularly harden and temper part, normalizing part, annealing parts, always you have to select this diamond indentator, this specimens, standard specimens having 64 HRCs there. Apply load 150. Now I will going to adjust this. So how much will the rotating movements will be there? So you can see here. So this small clock is there. There is pointer is there. You can apply the pressure in such way this pointer will come to the red signal and this pointer will come to the zero. This much load you can apply on the job. Now you can see this is the rotating. Again, this is second rotations. Normally it is expected 3 rotations. Okay. So this is the position. See that this is the position. Apply loads. 150 load, it has been applied on the standard workpiece. Okay. Now I will release this load and you will get the hardness. HRC. You will get the hardness HRC. Okay. So now I will release this load, and you can see where this pointer will stop. That reading is your final reading. Okay. Now you will get this final reading. How much here? It is 62 HRC. It is 62 HRC there. Black colors you can observe. Am I correct? 62 HRC. Okay. Okay. So like this you can take. Now again I will take one reading for your kind attention purpose. I want to check HRC. So when we can select this C scale, you can select the C scale when part is harder and tempered. Okay, hard workpiece is there, then we can select C scale. If hard workpiece is not there, you can go to the A, B, D or some other scale. So specific information it is provided on this machine. Applications, load is there, indenter is there, and scale is there. So you can see these are the chart: scale, indenters, loads, then dials, and here application. Always you have to refer these charts before using these machines. Okay, so this is the chart required for testing the hardness. Okay, so I have selected C scale. I have selected C scale. My indenter is diamond. This is the diamond indenters. My load is 150 and my scale is black. Okay, scale which is provided in the upper clock, we'll say. And here is the application. Steel material is there. So I have selected C scale. Once again, I will apply the loads and see that in which way I am doing this work. How to check the hardness of the workpiece. Just I am rotating this. Okay. So in this position, just put this lever back side. Okay. Now I will take back. This is your required HRC. See that how much HRC is there. So here is again 63. So like this, you can take the number of reading and you can make the average, and that is the final hardness of your job. Okay. Now, instead of this standard piece, I will going to check my samples. Okay. So here I have these small samples. I will going to check the hardness of this. Okay. And one more sample, it is in my hand. Okay. So what I will do here, I will going to check the hardness of all these three samples. Those samples having a low hardness, that samples I will go for hardening and tempering. And those samples having little bit more hardness, I will go for annealing and normalizing. Once again, I will repeat. I have got three samples. This is two, and this is a one. So what I will do, I will these three pieces. Okay. So out of these three, which piece having more hardness, that piece I will go for annealing and normalizing. Okay. And those piece having zero hardness or little bit less than 10, and that piece will go for hardening and tempering. Means hardened part will go for annealing and normalizing.
Voice थोड़ा व्यवस्थित येत नाही.
What shall I do?
Now it is clear. Voice clear. Okay. Voice is clear. Please check network from your side. Okay. Voice is clear. No problem.
We have here students. Now it is audible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. Now I will go a little bit back and then you can tell me. Now it is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
No problem. So once again, I will repeat. I have three samples, two, and this is one more sample. So what I will do here? So recording after. Okay. So what I will do out of these three, which sample having lower hardness, that samples I will go for hardening and tempering. And those samples having already hardness, that samples I will go for annealing and normalizing. Annealing and normalizing means what? To reduce the hardness or the structure inside the job. So for this purpose, we require annealing and normalizing. So here I will going to check the hardness of this first work sample. Okay. So my hardness is below zero, means it is not in the range of Rockwell hardness. So I want to increase the hardness of the job. Okay, I want to increase the hardness of the job. Now I will go to the next. So this is also zero hardness. So these two sample with me, having hardness 0 or less than 0. So these two workpiece, I will go for hardening. Okay. Then I will check one more sample. This is also less than 0. Another sample. Another sample. So this sample having a more hardness. It is also shown 0 to 0. Again, I will check this. Okay. So 15 hardness is there, 15, 1, 5. So this workpiece I will go for annealing so that hardness will get 0. And next 2, 3 samples are there that will go for hardening. Okay. So this will go for annealing. Okay. And this 3 piece will go for hardening. Now let us you come to here. So this is the induction furnace. Induction furnace is that. This is the refractories. We can put the samples here and get it closed.
Sir, I will close separate.
Okay, and here we can adjust the temperature. Okay, so now I will put these 3 samples. Okay. Now see that this is the furnace. Induction types of furnace is there. Here we can adjust the temperature. Once the current will start, you will have to see the temperature. But before this, I will show one diagram with you. Here. So I am going to start this furnace temperature. So presently this temperature is 563. Okay, it will goes on increasing. How much temperatures we required, that I will show with one diagrams which is on our blackboard. Okay, so it will go on increasing this range. So we will have to wait here. Okay, now let us you come to this side. So this is the iron carbon diagram. This is the temperature lines and this is the percentage of carbon. Okay. So from 0 to 0.8, this is the hypoeutectide steel. So eutectide point is here. Eutectide means to convert one liquid into two solids. So here ferrite plus perlite and this side perlite plus cementite will come. So this 0 to 0.8 you will get hypo and 0.8 to 2 this is hyper eutectide steel. So this is the eutectide point and this is the eutectic point. Okay. So here from liquid to two solids you will get, but here liquid to two solid at this temperatures you will get. Okay. Now our hardening process related to the hypoeutectide steel. Hypoeutectide steel is this related to this. This is the A1 line temperature, having temperature 723-27 degree temperature is there. So this is the A1 line temperature. So this is your A3 temperature line. Normal temperature is 910. Okay, and here it will be around 11.47 degree temperature is there for this line as per your iron carbon diagram. Now annealing temperature for this annealing temperature for hypoeutectoid steel, you can heat that workpiece. Means already workpiece I kept inside the furnace. That steel you have to heat above this A3 line. Above this A3 line means workpiece it will go on heating, and it should cross this A3 line. It should be cross this A3 line. How much? Around 30 to 50 degrees centigrade. Means suppose here carbon is here 0.4 is there. So your point will be here. So corresponding temperature will be there. So suppose here 800, for this 800, this carbon above this 30 to 50 degrees centigrade, you have to heat that component. Okay, means hypoeutectide steel you can heat above the A319 degree temperature, but for hyper you can go for A1. Hypo above A33, hyper you can go above A19 temperature. How much? 30 to 50 degrees centigrade. Okay. For example, here it is 800. Then you can heat this component 850. After this, you can keep that component to particular period, that is called soaking period. That is called soaking period. Soaking time it is called. Soaking time means constant temperature. That soaking time it is normally depends upon the rolling cross section of the material. For 1 inch normally we can keep 1 hour as per the rules in industry. Soaking time for 1 inch material you can keep 1 hour. Okay, so you can heat this component above the A319 degree temperature up to 50, means by crossing A3 up to 50 degrees centigrade, means 800 is here, you can heat there 850. Then you can make the constant temperature, means this we have adjusted here, so these temperatures will make constant. Okay, for 1 hour or 2 hour depends upon the process area. And after this, for annealing, you can keep that component in furnace itself. Means these temperatures will stop as it is. Means we can switch off that current, and tomorrow morning we will take out the that pieces tomorrow morning. Okay, means it is furnace cooling. Okay, so once again I will repeat. A1, this annealing process, it will be like this way. Hypoheated tile steel, it can heat the component above the A3 by 30 to 50 degree. After that, soaking time will be there, and after that, furnace cooling will be there. So by the diagram also I will show to you. See that. So this is the temperature, and this is the time. Okay. So for hypoelectric steel, what I will do, I will heat the component above the A31. So means up to heat here. Okay, maybe around 850 degree. Okay. So this is my heating line. Okay. After this, you can make that furnace off. So this is the soaking time. Means constant temperature. That whatever temperature you kept in the furnace, you can make it constant for 1 hour for 1 year. This is depend upon ruling cross section of that material. So this is the soaking time, normally 1 to 2 hours for given some material. This is also practically almost we can judge this timing. So this is the soaking time, and after this you can in we can stop that furnace so that temperature will come down. So this process is called annealing process. Hello, getting this process, or shall I repeat once again? Shall I repeat once again?
Yes, sir.
Hello, friends.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will repeat once again. Annealing. Annealing process. Any component you can heat above the A3 line for hypoelectric steel, and for hyper you can go above the A1. See this diagram. For hypo I will cross A3, but for hyper I will cross A1. So above this line you can go 50 degree, 50. Okay. So once again I will repeat. For hypo you take side C, you can cross A3 degree temperature, and above this you can go 50 at least. For hyper you can go above A1. This is our A1 line. This is our A1 line. Okay. So after crossing that temperature, you can keep that component in the furnace without changing temperature. Means constant line will be there. This temperature will remain constant. That is called soaking time. And that soaking time is 1 hour for 1 inch diameter of the material. Once that period is over, then you can make that furnace off. Once the furnace will make off, temperature will go down. The temperature will go down. Okay, and you can take out that component from the furnace when the furnace will achieve the room temperature, which is our this temperature. This process is called annealing process. Now you are getting. Hello, friends. Hello, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So once again, I will repeat in short. For annealing, hypo you can cross A3 plus 50 degree. For hyper, you can go A1 plus 50 degree. Okay. After that temperature, you keep that constant temperature for a soaking time. And what is the soaking time? 1 inch, 1 hours. And after that, you can go in furnace cooling. And once that furnace will achieve the room temperature, you can take out that workpiece. This process is called annealing. Okay, so shall I go for normalizing? Hello? Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Annealing process, are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now we go for normalizing. So normalizing, once again, you can see here, I have shown the normalizing, I have shown the here annealing. For normalizing, for hypoeutectoid steel, normalizing for hypoeutectoid steel, you can go plus 50-degree temperature than annealing. Means here dark color, this dark color it shows annealing. This dark color it shows annealing. And hatching lines are there. Hatching color chart is there. The color chart. See that my dark color it indicates annealing. But here some lines are there. So this is the annealing. Hatching lines. It shows the normalizing. For hypoeutectoid steel, heating temperature is above the A3 line but greater than annealing temperature. Greater than annealing temperature. So here with colors I will show the normalizing. So this is the normalizing range with color above the annealing. Above the annealing. So this green colors, this is the normalizing, and below that annealing is there. In short, normalizing temperature must be greater than annealing temperature. Normalizing temperature must be greater than annealing temperature. But for hypoeutectoid steel, you can go above the annealing temperature. But in hypereutectoid steel, instead of A1 line, you can go to the ACM line. You can go to the ACM line. So this is the normalizing temperature for hypereutectoid steel. Other thing will remain same. Heating, then keep constant temperature, and in normalizing, you can take out the workpiece from the furnace and pull it in air, control air, so that decarbonization will not take place. Okay, so annealing temperatures for hypo A3, hyper A1. For normalizing temperatures for hypo greater than annealing temperature, for hyper it will get crossed above the ACM line temperature. Soaking times it will remain same for both. Okay. But in annealing, we require to cool the component in furnace. But for normalizing, we have to cool the component in air. Okay. So you have to keep in mind, for annealing, you have to cool the component in furnace. For normalizing, you have to cool the component in air. Okay. So control air should be there so that decarbonization will not take place. Okay. So normalizing, air cooling, annealing, furnace cooling. Annealing temperatures for hypo above A3, for hyper above A1. Normalizing temperature for hypo above annealing temperature. Normalizing temperature for hyper above the ACM line temperature around 50 degree. Soaking time 1 inch 1 hours. Okay. Annealing furnace cooling, normalizing air cooling. Okay. Any doubts? Annealing, normalizing. So if you make the figure of these two, annealing and normalizing, see that. Now you tell me which figure, left and right hand. Okay. This is the temperatures and this is your time. Now you tell me which is the normalizing figure and which is the annealing figure by saying right or left. Hello. This is my questions to you. Out of these two figures, this is the left hand side of me. This is the right hand. So you tell me which hand figure is normalizing and which hand figure is the annealing. Are you getting my question? Hello, friends.
Yes, sir.
You
First
tell me
annealing,
which-
second normal.
Huh? Hello. Which figure by left and right? So this is the left hand and this is the right hand. So you tell me which figure is related to normalizing, which figure is related to annealing. Hello.
Right hand normalizing, sir.
Yes. Okay. And this is the annealing. Correct. You have got the concept very clearly. Okay. And temperature wise also you can see that this temperature is more than annealing temperature. Correct, temperature wise. This is bigger, this is smaller than this. Means suppose this temperature is around 910, so it should be around 830. So normalizing temperature always be more than annealing temperature. Okay. And structure wise, if you can see, you will find more of fine perlite in this. But here you will get porous perlite. Annealing, porous perlite, here you will get fine perlite. So this is the major difference between annealing and normalizing. Okay. Now next we go for hardening and tempering. Okay. So here we have got this temperature 896. Okay. So we go for hardening. So whatever the test piece I kept inside this, we have got this temperature, hardening temperatures. Now I will take the workpiece from the furnace and I will quench in the water. So this is the water. This is the quenching media. So in this waters I will pull this material. But before this, see the hardening cycle here. So here temperatures and time is there. You can heat the workpiece. Soaking time is there. Quench. Quench. Here quenching media is water, oil, air. Like this quenching media is there. Water, oil, air. After this, you will get the required hardness. But here you will get 90% martensite. And you know that martensite is very hard and brittle. So you have to reheat below the A1 temperature and you can use the soaking times and here you can go for air cooled. Okay. So this is called tempering. This is called tempering. This is called hardening. So now I have got this temperature. Now I will take the workpiece.
Okay. I will remove it. Please hold it properly.
Pudle don't stop. ये कुठे ठेवते now this is the hardened workpiece. We'll go for hardening. So we'll take out and quench in the water. Water quenching is there. एक घ्या त्यातला एक this is okay, so this will go for water quenching. अजून नाही 900
केला दो.
गरम आहे का पाणी?
एक गरम झाला असेल तर दरवाजाला ह्याला हात लावून आपल्याला.
Okay, so this is the piece we have quenched. Now related to this, you can see this cycle: temperature versus time. Okay, temperature versus time is there. So initially we can heat this component in furnace. Okay, hardening temperature normally 830 to 850 degrees centigrade. After that, same soaking time is there, 1 inch, 1 hour. After that, you can quench oil quench, air quench. The selection of this media having specific requirement of the hardness. More hardness you can go for water, but different types of dyes, oil quenching, and different types of punches are there. Then we can go for air. Means our cutting tools we can go for air cooling. So this is the hardened workpiece. Okay. Now I will check this workpiece with help of our hardness tester, but theoretically by water quenching around 90% martensite will be there, and martensite that is hard and brittle, and there is no use of such material. So what you have to do, you have to relieve certain martensite and consume austenite which is present in it. So for this purpose, we require to heat this component like this way, but it should be below the A1 line. So below the A1 line, again soaking time 1 hour is there, and here will be air cool. So this is called tempering, and this is called hardening. So you can see here hardening, and you can see here tempering. Okay. So now I will check the hardness of this, and then we'll go for tempering. Okay, so here you will get the hardness. So around 10 hardness is there, 10 HRC is there. Okay, so this hardness is the 10. Okay, so 10 HRC is there. If you want to reduce this hardness, then you can go for tempering. Okay, but that temperature should be below the A1. But we have got only one furnace, and that temperature is 900 around. So presently we cannot go for tempering, but tempering temperature is below the A1 line temperature, maybe around 500. Okay, so you can reheat this component below the A1 line temperature, give soaking times and air cool. You will get tempering. After hardening, you have to do the tempering. Why? Because after hardening, more martensite will be there, and that martensite is very hard and brittle. No use of that. To relieve the some percentage of martensite, we have to go for tempering. Okay, after tempering, you will get the required hardness, and whatever the traces will get developed in hardening, that will also be reduced by the tempering. Okay, so today we have covered these three types: annealing, then normalizing, hardening, and tempering along with HRC. Okay, so now inside these two samples are there. Now we have got this temperature around 900. So out of this, one sample will keep inside the furnace and next samples will keep outside. Okay. And to cool this, we require normalizing around 1 hour, and for annealing, tomorrow we'll see. Okay. So that the hardness it will get below the 0. Okay. Now out of this remaining two, we'll take one sample outside the furnace and one sample inside the furnace. Inside the furnace, annealing process. Outside the furnace, normalizing, keeping the component in water, hardening process. After hardening, tempering. Okay. Sir.
दगड फरशी असते.
Basically, that will take one piece. This is our normalizing, and inside piece. Tomorrow we'll see that is the annealing. Now I will close this furnace. Okay. So this is the furnace cooling annealing. This is the normalizing, and this is the hardening. Water cooling. Tomorrow we'll see this annealing. Okay. So up to here it is clear. Anybody having any doubt? Any doubt is there? Anybody? You can ask, because same things you will have to see in industry. Without heat treatments, we cannot go for the assembly of any product. Heat treatment must be there for each and every component, for any machinery, any vehicles. Otherwise, no use of that component. So have you got the difference between annealing, normalizing, hardening, and tempering? Any questions? Hello friends, any questions related to this 4 process? Huh? Hello?
No, sir.
Very nice,
No doubt,
very
sir.
nice. Okay, now last I will show one the procedure for BHNS. Okay. So I have got one workpiece. So this is the workpiece in my hand. So I want to check the BHM, renal hardness number. Okay. So initially what I have done here, I have taken impression with our UTM machine with steel ball 10 mm and load is around this 1000 like this. So you will get impression here, and these impressions we have to measure with the microscope. So I will show this microscope to measure the only this. So online it is not possible to show this because this is the microscope and these impressions we can measure with this microscope, and whatever diameter you will get, this diameter is your small d. Okay, and what is capital D? Here I have marked impressions with steel ball. That steel ball diameter is 10 mm. This is your capital D. And I have applied here load that is 1000. You can put here. So 1000 10 mm and diameter here. What you measured by the microscope, maybe around 5 mm. You can put here. After calculations, you will get the Brinell hardness number. So this is the procedure, but nowadays in industry, directly you will get the BHL numbers. Okay, but what contained in our syllabus, it is like this way. So you can apply the load with steel ball 10 mm with the help of UTM machine also around 500 to 3000. You will get impression here. That impression diameters you can measure with microscope, and that diameter is your small d. The steel ball 10 mm. Apply loads between 500 to 3000. Whatever load you have applied, that you can put here. After calculation, you will get the Brinell's hardness number. Correct? So this is the way to check the Brinell's hardness number. Okay. So I think our all contents related to practical it is over. If anybody having any problems, you can ask to me, because this is very important from the industrial point of view. If not, tomorrow or day after tomorrow also, you can ask any doubt to me related to this. Okay. So shall we conclude here? So if anybody having any question, you can ask me. Your doubt related? It is clear or not? Even though if any doubt is there, anytime you can ask, because this is very important from the industrial point of view. Chat box. It is. Where is the chat box in my mobile? There I am. Keep it. Keep it. that after quenching it will bend. Okay. Say that after quenching, if drastic quenching is there, drastic bend will be there. If that type of distortions will be there, you can change the quenching media. Okay. So here's I have given water, oil and air. Okay. If you go for water quenching and the cross section area is the more, there is a possibility to bend that area. Okay, small distortion will be there. If this is the situation, to avoid such type of bending or distortion, you can change the quenching media. Oil quenching you can go. In oil quenching also, if you will face the problems, then you can go for air quenching. And air quenching also, if you feel that, then that component having certain problem in the design itself. Correct. So need to change the design of that component. Okay. Your doubt is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubt? Or any doubt? Shall we conclude? Hello, friends.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. If anybody having any doubt, you can ask anytime. Now we'll conclude this. Our practical. Stop recording. Shall I stop here?